My name is Samantha, and this research is about the interactive effect of salt and nutrients on growth of boreal tree seedlings. And the oil sands are natural mixture of sand, clay, or different minerals, water and bitumen. It's a viscous oil. And Canada and Venezuela has the largest reserve and deposits of these sands. But his extraction caused environment impacts, especially on water, soil, and biodiversity, and release greenhouse gases. And the reclaimed landscapes have elevated level of salts and poor soils, what difficults the establishment of plants. And this high salinity, it causes osmotic effects and ion toxicity, and causing different physiologic process alterations like growth reduction, injury, and death to these plants. So, since the plant responses to salinity vary from species and cause negative effects, the object of this experiment was investigate the interaction between salt and nutrients of these boreal forest trees. So trembling aspen, jack pine, and white spruce seedlings were placed in a hydroponic system inside a grow chamber room. And the salt stress was imposed by adding sodium chloride. The concentration was 60 millimolar to the nutrient solution. We can see a draft from the grow chamber, the treatments and the replicates here. The treatments were six seedlings per treatment and 2 replicates with 1 concentration of sodium chloride and 5 nutrients treatments, adding 10% of the nutrients, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, manganese, and iron. And the measurements for this stage was the plant height and stem diameter at the beginning and at the end of the experiments, and the analysis were made on our software. Here we can see the beginning and the end of the experiment. And for aspen, we can see a positive correlation between the analysis, and especially for the treatments with sodium chloride is the black dots. And we could see they are fast-growing trees comparing with the other species, and they were affected by salinity. They didn't grow as the control treatments. And for jack pine, we could observe a positive correlation too. For all treatments, they grow slowly, but the growth wasn't affected by the salinity, as we can see on the diameter analysis. And it seems to be less sensitive to salt, and the jack pine is considered tolerant of salt salinity than white spruce and other genus of the Pinassa family. And for white spruce, wasn't relationship between the variables. The graph is not structured, and it grew similarly in slow rates as jack pine. But some plants didn't not grow in diameter under salt stress. You can see clearly in the graph. And it seems to be less sensitive to salinity too, and surviving low resource and availability of conditions. And the preliminary conclusions are that the interaction between salinity and low levels of nutrients did not change the plant growth, and salinity is the factor that interferes in this growth. Trembling aspen seems to be the most sensitive species among the studied, and jack pine and white spruce appear to be the less sensitive to salt stress, but more analyses are required to confirm these patterns.